Welcome to a brand new episode of the HOIF Unfiltered, and we have two very special guests today. Both yes, this could have been an all girls podcast, but we thought we'll just be inclusive and add Ajay and be there. He's gonna moderate, and probably his duty is to keep me in check with the time as well. Welcoming both our guests, Varsha from Bangalore and Jenisha from Chennai. A lot of similarities, not just the fact that you all love football and you're crazy fans of, part of the fan club, but also the fact that your names end with a Shah, like Varsha, Janisha. Bad joke, anyway. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for taking time and coming on the show. This is going to be a fun chat. I don't know if this has been done before, where we've got like two fans from two rival clubs and fan clubs, but we're going to talk about something really fun and something very nice. And I hope it's all things football. And even if it's banter, it's good banter. So, yeah, kickstarting it before I waste a lot of time talking and blabbering. I'll start with Janisha. Janisha, why don't you take us through probably an introduction to were you introduced to Chennai FC? Like, did somebody tell you about it, or how was the first? How was the first introduction to the club?
Okay, I've been a fan of football primarily because I lived in Cochin before moving to Chennai. So in Kerala the football craze is there. It somehow catches up to you. And when I moved to Chennai, here there was hardly any football to support. There actually was, but I was not aware. It's only now that I get to know that we have a very good culture here as well. But there was no big clubs as such to support. So when Chennai FC came in, initially it was supposed to be based out of Bangalore, but fortunately for us it moved to Chennai. And then uh, there were also rumors that Ronaldinho will be signed by Chennai FC. That was the first rumor that I heard about the club, and I was like, okay, this is my club. I don't know if Ronaldinho is gonna come or not, but I have a club from my city to support. I've been supporting Barcelona for quite a long time, but I've not been there to Camp Nou or to watch a match live. But here I can go to the stadium, I can support a team from the stands. So that was what attracted me towards the NFC first, and I've been supporting ever since the club started.
That's brilliant. I mean, well, without Ronaldinho itself, you guys have been doing really well in the league. So that's good. That's kudos to you guys. Even the whole fan culture that's building up in Chennai slowly, which is great. I mean, not just with Chennai and FC, but the whole Tamil Nadu football scene has got a kickstart again, right? So it's brilliant. Coming to you, Varsha, how were you introduced to Bengaluru FC? Knowing that the club is new, again, I think a similar situation with you as well, just like Janisha, like Bangalore didn't have much of a football scene. So, how did you get to know about the club?
Yeah, as you know very well, Siju, I've been following European football for a long time. It's been like 15 years since I've been a United fan. And I've always wanted a club in my own city where I could go and watch. It's just different, right? When you have a club in your own city, you can go watch them. The connect is just different, and I always wanted that. Um, Before Bengaluru FC, we had HAL and ITI, and my dad used also went with HAL team once or twice to Goa as a manager and stuff. But there was just something missing. I think the fan culture was missing. People did go and watch the games at the stadium, but it was just different, right? And when Bengaluru FC came into the picture in around 2013-14, I didn't follow as much. I used to just watch them, watch few of the games, watch Mohan Bagan a little bit on the TV. But then once I started playing football for my team, for my office team, a couple of us decided to go and watch a game. That was in 2016, and my first game was against Salgaonkar. We lost the game, but it was just like I just fell in love with the club because it was not just about the result. Even though we lost the game, uh, it was more than that. The fan culture. Chanting for 90 minutes. Being there for the team. It was just a different experience watching a club of your own city play, right? At that moment I just fell in love with the club, and now if you ask me, I don't think what I am today is because of Bengaluru FC.
Brilliant. Janisha, coming to you now that we've got an idea of how you got introduced to the club. How were you part? How have you become a part of the Chennai FC fan group called Super Machans, right? So if you can tell us that a little bit about that.
So I joined Super Machans a couple of months after it started. So,
Yeah, go for it. Say something now.
I'm hearing other.
Yeah, I think you can speak now.
Okay, so I was saying I joined Super Machans a couple of months after it started. So Super Machans started in November 2014. So this was formed by a group of people who became friends after attending Chennai FC matches. So they just got to know them each other from attending matches in the stands. Completely random people. They were all completely strangers before. They met together. They met in the stands, and then they became friends. Started attending matches together. So this was there were around 10 people, 10-15 people initially when the fan club was formed, and then towards the end of the season, in December, around December, and after the season in Jan, Naga Chaitanya, who is the founder of Super Machans, he was also a very good friend of mine, whom I got to know after supporting Chennai FC. So we met first on Twitter, and then he started asking me to come watch matches with Super Machans and join the fan club, be a part of the fan club, and he kept insisting. And it was because of him and another co-founder, Josh. So it was these two of them who convinced me to join Super Machans. And I joined, I think, towards the end of December or Jan 2000. I think in Jan 2015, around that time, I joined Super Machans, and it's been a very beautiful journey because we're more like a family now. If you take us individuals, we were all completely strangers before Chennai FC came into the picture. Now we are all different people from different walks of life, all supporting the club like one big family.
I'm sure there's some kind of similarity even in West Block Blues, Varsha. So how's it?
Yeah,
But
it's
if you can
very,
tell
very
us
similar.
how you introduced.
Yeah, so as you know, like West Block came into the picture as soon as BFC came into the picture. It was like almost the same time. It was also similar to how she mentioned about Super Machans, just a couple of people who became friends through BFC, and now we're a big family, and they used to watch the games from West Block A, and that's how West Block Blues came into the picture. And how I joined the group is because I paint. I offered to paint the first time I went for a BFC game. I offered to paint a few flags, and before that, there were never hand painted flags at the game. So it was a good opportunity for me to collaborate with them, explore my passion for art and football together. So ever since I started painting, I've been a part of West Block Blues, the banner team, and that's how I got into the fan club. And we're a big family. I don't think these are some of the people I met at the games, and now they're some of the closest friends I have. I know that whatever happens, they're going to be there for me, and it's just a different experience watching the game with them. Whether we win, we lose, we're together. So that's just a very special feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Varsha, you also partly answered my following question. So I'll come back to Janisha that just like Varsha mentioned, and it's quite evident as well, like her art side of where she paints tifus and flags and other stuff like that. Janisha, if you can tell us what are the activities that you are involved as part of the fan club?
So initially, since we were, very less in number, we were only around 20 or so initially when I joined. So everyone had to do all the works because the team was very small. So I used to, design posters for our social media handles, write up articles for the social media handles, and for match days and all, we sit and we prepare chants. So almost everything that the fan club does, we all do it together. So initially there were no specific teams for each and everything, but after the third season, so we had a banner team, we had a separate social media team, we had a separate marketing team, all those things, right? So I started taking care of more of the the media and stuffs, because initially in the first 2 years, not many people knew us, and even the things that we were doing, even the activities that we were taking part in, the credits went to others. So we were okay with us not getting attention, but it sometimes it hurts when someone else gets credits for your work. So it was at that time that we thought, okay, we should take that as well. That is also important. So from that, I've been concentrating more on that front, to take super chance to the media. So whenever we have an event, or whenever we do something, I try to make sure at least 20-30% of our work is at least covered by the media. So that is something I am involved more in these days. But apart from that, I take care of the social media handles as well. And like I said, we have a separate team for that now, so it makes works simpler for everyone. And then uh, we are into a lot of social causes as well. So I primarily liaison with various other organizations with whom we can be involved in a lot of activities. So primarily on a high level, these are what I'm more involved in.
Great. I think we'll come to the part where you've already mentioned that you guys do a lot of community-based stuff as well as a fan club. We'll come to that. But Varsha, coming to you, how do you think? I mean, even a fan club is a club now, right? It sounds like a very exclusive thing for the fans. So how do you encourage, or how do you, if a new fan wants to join it, what's the process like? You know, and how do you
Although,
encourage new
yeah.
people to join?
Yeah, so although we're called like West Block Blues just because, that's how we always stand at, West Block A and stuff, any fan is welcome to join the group because ultimately we're all here for one cause, that's, supporting BFC, right? It doesn't matter where you are, which stand you watch from. Um, we could use all the help we get, it's very, like as Jenny mentioned, right? Initially it was just a couple of us doing all the work. I remember before even ISL, during our I League days, when we had to make BFC popular, some of our boys, used to go on the streets and sell tickets, because even ticketing used to be managed by some of our West Block boys. So that's how involved we were, and that's what we wanted. We wanted the city to know that, okay, there's a football club in Bangalore, and come out and support them. So from there to now, where we have like a good 100 to 200 people who donate money for banners. We have a separate media team, we have a banner team, we have award nights. We're doing so many things, and it's not just about what's special is because you're not just coming and watching the game, right? You're getting involved in the process, and you make friends, and it's beautiful. So we always tell fans, it's not necessary that you have to come and paint, or you have to, you don't have to have a skill, or you don't have to do anything. Just come and support, like chant with us, help us fold banners after the game, like small things, like any way you can get involved, like it makes a difference.
Jenny, is it similar with the Super Machans? How do you encourage somebody new to join?
Kind of similar, and we are a very very inclusive fan club. So normally people think, since we we have big banners in the stands and we chant together, some think that there is a particular procedure to join the fan club. And they think they have to fit in certain criteria to be a part of the club, which is not the case. So once they join us, they realize that all they have to do is just join us and cheer the team along. So whenever someone joins, we try to understand how they got in, how they came to know about us, and they came to know about Chennai FC. And if they are interested in contributing and helping us with something, they are always welcome. Even if they cannot, even if there is, even if they cannot come to the stands and support, even if they can only sit at home and watch, that's also not a problem. We encourage all forms of support. And even in the stands, not in the stands, in the stadium, outside the stadium, there are many kids who are very interested. They love Chennai FC, but they won't be having the money to buy tickets and come to the stands. We try to buy tickets for them, bring them to the stands, make them watch games with us. And sometimes most of our chants are in English, so they don't understand the chants. They cannot follow it. So over the years we have tried to make more chants in Tamil as well. And when the game is going on very interesting, sometimes we cut those English chants and uh, move to some very very simple Tamil chants, just so the local kids can also chant along with us. And so these are kids who are not on social media. They're not on our WhatsApp groups and all, but still they are a part of us. There is no particular procedure to be a part of the fan club. Whoever is interested in supporting the club, whoever wants to be a part of us, can always join us. And even in the stands, right now we occupy the E block and the A block. So on two opposite stands we occupy. Even if someone is from a different stand and wants to join us, they're always welcome. It's not that no we are restricted to these two stands alone. And when we participated in the AFC, our home games were unfortunately moved to Ahmedabad. But even there, we had supporters, and right now we have a Super Machans Ahmedabad wing as well. The support that we had there. They are also a part of our family now. So as I said, whoever loves Chennai FC is always welcome to be a part of Super Machans.
I like what you mentioned about the chants because we do have a lot of Kannada chants. That's another way to get a lot of people who don't know English or who feel like the way they can connect to the city or the club is through the local language. So we make a lot of chants in Kannada, and also we do this thing where if a new fan wants to come to the stadium for the first time, we buy them their ticket. Like we encourage that a lot. We ask people to get a new person every game, get a new person, and that way every game will have different people, and that's how we grow as a family.
Yeah, so I hope all the fans out there who are based in Bangalore and Chennai, I'm sure that it's clear that if you like the club and if you want to join, just hop onto them, because I'm sure all your doubts are cleared by these two girls here. So moving on with a question now, we spoke about you, we spoke about how you were part of the fan club or how you got introduced to the club. Now let's talk about the fan club in general and relation between the fan group and the club. How is it? How I mean, we've seen that very closely. All those who are on social media, it's quite evident. But if Janisha, if you can mention about the whole Super Machan's relation with Chennai FC, how has the club management acknowledged the fan group?
Chennai FC acknowledged Super Machans pretty early because, as I said, we formed in November 2014. Just a month after the club started playing. We reached out to the club. Those who were initially a part of the team, they reached out to the club and they told that, see, we are interested in starting a fan club, and they were very welcoming. They welcomed us with open arms. And immediately after the first season, there were grassroots programs happening all over Chennai in various schools. So many of us went there, we volunteered with the club, helped the club in organizing and conducting all those grassroots. And from then on, whenever we are involved in an activity, we ensure the club is also informed, and they help us in any way possible. Even recently, there have been a lot of Insta lives going on, and we had a week for our management alone. They've always been very supportive, including our owners, Abhishek Bachchan and Vita Dani. I would say they are the most supporting bosses. Um, they're always there. They try to meet fans as many times as possible, despite their very busy schedule. And there are some things that you don't know about Abhishek Bachchan. He might be a star. He might be from a very big celebrity family, but he doesn't have that air around him when he's with fans. Um, he meets us, and every time he meets us, he knows us. If there are any problems, like a couple of years back, one of our Sukumachans had to undergo a treatment, and he uh, he gave 5 lakhs for the treatment. And the next time when he met him, he remembered him, and then the first thing he asked him was, "How are you?" So as a fan, it feels like a big thing to do. And even recently, there was another fan who was affected, and almost all the fan clubs had come together and helped. The club had also helped to a great extent, but we were asked not to talk about it outside. So we have not said anything about that outside. But they've always been very, very supportive. We are all a part of the family, so that feeling is mutual. They don't treat us like like fans. They treat us as a part of the big Chennai FC family, or the CFC Kudumbam as they call.
Yeah, I mean, quite so much that we say it's a 12th man, right? So you're definitely part of the team. Varsha, your story and how is the club relation with the club and the fan group?
I think we're a family, you know. I don't think the club has ever looked at fans as a separate entity, right? It's always, you know, we are here because you're with us. That's how it's always been, you know, the fan club and the club itself. The journey has been, you know, hand in hand. Initially itself, when the West Block Blues was formed, you know, we used to have like contests and where we used to have meet and greet with players, and you know, the club used to do everything in its power to help us get more fans and make the club bigger, you know. And even the players, you know, they appreciate the fans so much, because if you know, like all the banners we do, everything we do before the kickoff, you know, the message we have on the banners is for the club, right? Whether it be an important game, whether they're losing or whether it's difficult, you know, they rely on fans, you know, our support, because you know, I think even when you're a goal down or something like that, you know, when we chant loudly, that's what motivates the club. And they've always made that vocal. Parth himself has told us, you know, how important, you know, the West Block is, because um, now I think there was a in 2017, if I'm not wrong, there was a game which had to be played behind closed doors, and it was very difficult for the club, because you know, they realized how much, you know, the fan support meant to them. Apart from that, you know, things like now during COVID and quarantine, you know, the club sent us masks. That's something which is unique, because they care about the fans, they care about the community. If there is a fan who is injured, you know, there was one of my friends, she had a ligament tear and she couldn't walk up, and West Block is pretty high, like you have to walk up pretty much. Siju, you know, because you've been there. So the club arranged a wheelchair for her, a separate team of doctors who can take her up and bring her back after the game. Also, there was a pregnant lady who had to keep having water, and she tweeted to the club, and the club immediately arranged a VIP ticket for her, you know. Things like that, you know. You just have to reach out to the club, and they're going to be there no matter what difficulty you're in. You know, the club is always going to be there, and that's very unique, you know. That's why we love this club even more, because they care for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's great set of examples there for fan engagement, right? That both these clubs have been doing. That's exactly why you have a vocal fan group and who have been loyal with them throughout. Just like both of you mentioned, it's a family and not, they are not two separate things. It's an extended arm, or a family like situation. So brilliant. I mean, I think any new fan out there will, I don't think anybody would feel left out, because the whole inclusiveness that is quite evident. And I mean, the club's doing well, and the club's getting titles and trophies and performances only adds the number of fans that would want to come and join the club. So I think it's amazing to hear both sets of stories. Now, moving on, Janisha did mention that as fan group, you also have responsibilities, that it's not just about being a supporting the club, but also acting as would say a good citizen as well, if whatever they do or they can do as a group to help people out there in the community. So it's not just the club's responsibility, but even a fan group can do that, and it's quite evident. I mean, it's a beautiful thing that if any group of people come together, they can do a lot of things for others who are not able to receive or anything like that. Since Janisha has mentioned that, I'll come to a little later. Varsha, as West Block Blues, if you could highlight one or two events or activities that you all do for the community in Bangalore.
Yeah, so one of the things we do is we took up this along with Bengaluru FC itself, you know, that is cleaning the training ground or the fortress, because uh, a lot of times what happens is, okay, there are fans who come and there are a lot of water bottles thrown here and there, and nobody cleans the stadium, right? And you know, it's a fortress for a reason. We want to keep it that way, right? We want to keep it clean, and that's important as well. So we started uh, staying back, cleaning the stadium. I think 10, 15 of us. For half an hour, we clean up the whole stadium, and that's a good way of community service. We also sponsored a girls football team, and and West Block does a lot in that way. Like if there are kids who need support or who want to play but they don't have money or things like that, we spread awareness, we help them out, because we know what it means, right? We know how important football is. So we do that kind of thing. We also volunteered with one of the organizations to clean up whole of Bangalore, paint uh, different locations on different weekends. They call us up and they're like, do you want to come and clean up and paint? And it's I think the one of the instances where we had to paint was near the training ground itself, and we even had Chetri and club coming and helping us out, painting and planting trees and stuff. That was another thing we did. We did a tree planting day. We went and planted a lot of saplings. So that's how we give back to the community, right? Because we are what we are because of the community, and it's not worth it if you don't give back. Yeah.
Brilliant, absolutely.
Yeah, so Jenny, coming to you, the question that just like Varsha mentioned, the activities as a fan club that takes, that looks into the larger perspective and the benefit of the community. So just like Varsha mentioned, a couple of events that they take, they have taken in the past. If you can share one or two events with us that Chennai FC fan Super Machans take up.
We first giving back to the community through a coastal cleanup program, and that was something we did along with a big NGO. But after that, we decided, to work along with smaller organizations and people who need more help but are not reached out by many larger organizations. So that's how we started helping an orphanage called the Dazzling Stone, and we first started with tree planting there. And then over the course of time, we started to have a lot more activities at the orphanage for the kids at the orphanage. And then one day, Rafael Augusto's wife said she wanted to go meet the kids, and then she was there. She brought Rafael Augusto and his son as well one day, and then another day she brought almost all the whole foreign contingent, and they were there. But the difference that these kids saw with these players and the other regular visitors they have is that the others, they just come, they meet the kids, they give gifts, so they sponsor only. But these players, they were dancing along with the kids. So especially when Calderon and Sereno and all were there, Caldi, he plays a song and he will be dancing with the kids. So the kids felt more loved when these players were there. So they first fell in love with the players, and then they fell in love with the club in turn, and then they started watching football. But they didn't have a TV or a screen there to watch football, so they only get score updates from the in charges at the orphanage. So we decided we'll get them a big projector and a screen, and arrange everything for them to watch our matches regularly. And then we crowd funded, and then we brought all the necessary equipments for screening, and from then on, each and every match is screened there. And then we slowly started screening Indian football matches as well, and now they are one of the biggest fans for both Chennai FC and the Indian football team. So, it started as something else, but then we brought them into the Indian football community as such. And then another thing that we initiated was, it's called the SM giveaway. So where we started collecting used and unused football gears from various people, and then we give it to people who are interested in playing football but cannot really afford to buy all these gears. So we did this, and a lot of the gears that we got, we gave it to the Tamil Nadu Cerebral Palsy team. Most of the new ones were given to them, and then most of the used ones were given to kids from underprivileged schools and things like that. So these were just two of the things that we are more involved in, and we do on a regular basis. There are a lot of other initiatives as well. There is a cancer home with which we are associated. We go meet those kids, and even last year we celebrated the club's 5th anniversary there, and JJ was there at the home to meet those kids. So these are all very small places. Like the cancer home, for instance, it has only 16 kids, it's not a very big place where, so whatever we do, it's not for the sake of advertising the club. It's just to bring those people involved, to bring about a small change in their life, and in turn they somehow fall in love with the club. That is not the objective, and that is also not something we don't tell them about the club initially, but they start watching the club play, and then they fall in love with the club. And there are a lot of other initiatives as well that we have been involved throughout the last few years. And um, before the beginning of last year, we also we volunteered for the Special Olympics football championship that happened in Chennai. That was the first edition of that event, and we volunteered. So we reached out to them because that was something happening for the first time in the city, and we volunteered. And we were also given the best volunteer award at the end of the event. So that was like our first award, and that was something we got at our own stadium, at our home. So that was something that we were very proud of, because no one has ever acknowledged us whenever we do something, because we don't do anything expecting something in return. But then when you first get that appreciation, it really means a lot. And there was another company called Azuba that also acknowledged our contributions to the society, and gave us presented us with the Youth for Change award last year during the season. um, we are continuing to do a lot more things. The club, recently they had donated a lot of masks for the frontline workers. And we as a fan club, this is the first time we have not been very actively involved, because we don't want to risk anybody's life, since going out and volunteering to do things at this point of time is a bit risky. So we have not very actively been involved in a lot of things at the moment, but we're still planning to help people. We are identifying people around our stadium, and people who have been working at the stadium, and people associated with football who are now in a position where they cannot earn. And we are trying to identify those people, and soon we will be coming up with an initiative to support them. So this is like something that we will be continuing to do.
I feel the fan groups that have shown us, like, if the right people come together, and if it's the right intention to do good for the society and for each other, I think that just shows that anyone and everyone can do a lot in their own capacity, in their own capabilities, right? So that's amazing to know. Now, it's been the entire episode. I have enjoyed knowing about you guys, knowing a little more about the fan culture, the fan club, and the association, the relation between the club and the fans. But it's getting too much of heavy loaded information, and it got a bit of educative and informative. But I'm sure that was needed for somebody out there who is wanting to know more, that these guys are not just about rivals and bashing each other on the stadium, on the pitch, but they are much more than that, So but let's move on to the banter stuff. That's what the whole goal of getting, that's the best part about getting fans onto the show, right? But we will do good banter. We are not one of those ugly people who wants to bash each other up for the sake of it. So I have a couple of questions for you. uh, Now I have to touch upon this, right? So though this show I had kept in my mind of getting you both to our podcast much earlier than this news came out about the AFC Cup. But I think I messaged and reached out to you guys during that time. So I had to like disclaimer put out and say, hey, it's not about the AFC Cup thing, but I had already kept in mind to get you on the show. But since that has happened, let's just talk about it. Varsha, I see you grinning. I see you with a big smile there. A season not so good for Bengaluru, but this whole AFC Cup has come as just a bonus, right? I mean, bigger than a bonus. It's a great gift that you guys have got. So what do you say about
Yeah, and
that?
we feel kind of glad that we finished third, because otherwise I don't think we would have got the AFC as well. But that being said, AFC has always been the club's mission, right? It's not just about winning the I League or ISL for that matter right now. whenever Parth or Mandar or anyone from the club talks about their vision or their long-term goal, right? AFC is always, representing India in Asia, and considering the fact that we were the first and the only club to reach the finals, we want to go that step ahead. We want to do one better and win it, right? So even though we didn't have a good season, being back in the AFC Cup just gives us that hope that okay, this is something what we can look forward to, because AFC nights are just special for West Block. It's just a different family night, and the quality in AFC is just unbelievable, right? That's the level of football we want to be playing. So it's a big bonus. It's like a Christmas gift, if you will. But yeah, I think the club's pretty excited, and that's why it's more crucial that we sign better players, because what we lacked last season was a striker. We didn't have a goal scoring striker. Once Miku left, we didn't have goals. Like, we finished third because we didn't, like, there were draws and stuff, but that's what I'm sure the club is going to be working for, getting someone who's going to get us those goals, and maybe we can just win the AFC then sometime.
Yeah, I like where how this is going. It's just getting better with every word that Varsha has said. But coming to you, Jenny, we did see a lot of outrage. We did see a lot of disappointment with social media among the Chennai FC fans. What was it? What were you? I mean, yes, there were kind of not so clarity about the rules as such. So was that an issue, or what was the uproar about?
We have been robbed and it hurts, but there's absolutely nothing we can do about it at this moment, because we know some people in power, they get things done their way somehow or the other. So we have to just accept it and move on.
Rightly put there. I don't want to put hands into this fight
I
now.
have no comments either.
But we'll keep it going. I think that's where the fun part begins. We'll keep it going. Okay, now here's the thing. So Varsha, you have to tell me good thing, one good thing about Chennai FC. I know it's difficult, but that's the fun about it. You have to
One good
go on.
thing.
You have to say that. Yes.
Although it hurts, I think them winning the ISL in Kantirava just made us even more hungry to win it. Like, I think that was just like a knife to the heart or something. Like, it was just unbelievable. But that season they were good. This season as well they were good. Like, they really played well. I think when they have the right players, they get it going. But that being said, that rivalry is not going to go away. Like, I'm not going to be happy to see them win. But I think when they beat us, it was just, I think that motivated the players, the club, the fans, as much as, more than anything. And although it shouldn't have happened, like, I wouldn't say I'm glad that it happened, but something had to happen for us to be even more hungry to win the title. So don't regret it that much.
Rightly put there. That's a good way to put a loss out there, right? But coming to you, Jenny, you have to tell us now one good thing that you like about Bengaluru FC.
I would say the rivalry that they brought in as they entered the league, that is something I would say was, that was good in a positive way, um, because rivalry is what keeps football going. All the banter, all the, those are things that keeps it going, because until then it was only Chennai FC versus Kerala Blasters that had all the fireworks.
But they
So
never won
after
the
the
ISL even once.
sorry.
They never won the ISL even once though. So I don't get. But go on.
But there weren't so many online polls, so they think they deserve to be there. But anyways, but it was only Kerala
We're
Blasters,
on the
right?
same
All
page
the
on that.
banter, all the
There are no spokesperson from Kerala Blasters, so we will keep the show very clean and won't attack a person that's not there to speak for themselves. So let's move on.
So as I was saying, so the rivalry was thick between Chennai FC and Kerala Blasters, and after Bengaluru FC came to ISL, it was that rivalry, and actually it turned out to a rivalry. Right now, it's between Chennai FC, Kerala Blasters, and BFC. So three clubs from the south. Um, okay, let's not talk about the third club, but the rivalry has been going strong, and that's something that's very good. That's very good for football in general as well, especially for the south part of India.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything is good. At the end of the day, we have people and fans coming to the stadium and watching football, or all of that. So now that we've done good things, let's just ask Jenny one bad. I know there might be a lot of dislikes because after all, you're rivals. But I'm gonna ask you one dislike that one thing that you don't like about Bengaluru FC.
Bengaluru FC or their fans?
Just like we, I think, mentioned, Bengaluru FC and West Block Blues are same, and Chennai FC Super Machans
Okay.
are same. So one bad thing about the club, I'm sure it is going to hurt everyone.
Okay. One thing that I dislike the most is the hypocrisy. So, they pretend to be saints, but with the same thing when someone else does, they get on their heads. I mean, at the end of the day, we are all not saints. We all have our own evil within us. But pretending to be saints when you do the same thing, that is something I dislike. Basically, I meant the hypocrisy is
But
what I dislike.
yeah, Varsha, don't worry, I'm coming to you as well. What's that one thing that you don't like about Chennai FC?
I think I didn't like the way they celebrated their win in Bangalore. That was a little bit. I don't know if I want to. I don't know what to call it, but we didn't like it at all. Sometimes I don't like the attitude. Yeah, I won't comment more than that. Keep it short.
Great, great. That's good. I mean, we won't force you to say anything more. Don't worry about that. Now, before we move on to some more fun stuff, I want to ask you, what are your expectations from the upcoming season, Jenny, from the club and as well as your fellow fans of the club? We don't know when the season is coming up, but whenever it is, what are your expectations?
From the club,
I think we've lost you, Jenny. Are you still there? We can't hear you.
yeah. First of all, from the club, we signing players because we know some of the guys are leaving, but we don't know a single signing and pick up from where we left last season and go ahead and win the title. So from the club, we want them to start signing players because we know some of the players start signing. Can you pick up from? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay, I think
You can't hear me?
Yeah, now it is a little better. Yeah, we're better. Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
No, so I was saying our first expectation is from the club is to start signing players first because we know a few players are leaving, but we don't know a single signing yet. We don't know who's retained, who's gonna be signed. So we want them to start signing players, build a squad, and pick it up from where we left last season, go all the way, win the title, and get back left last season and go ahead and win. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Few
great.
players are leaving, but we don't know squad, and pick it up from where we left.
Okay. Varsha, what are your expectations from the upcoming season? I know what's the first one, but if you can tell us what's more.
Yeah, so definitely, the first two seasons when we were in ISL, we topped the league. So that's definitely all on the cards. We definitely want to top the league because that's just ensuring us of the AFC without all the controversy that we had to go through this year. So that's one thing. Second thing is definitely AFC, making it however far we can in the competition is also on the cards. Also from the fan group, what we want to, we don't even know whether it's going to be, if when the game started, is it going to be closed doors or not. So also thinking about how we want to keep the fans engaged and not lose the passion we have for the club, how we can do things differently. So that's also what as a fan group we're thinking of doing. How do we get the fans together, how do we keep the momentum going, how do we support the club in spite of what's going on right now. We don't know how football is going to be, right, once it resumes. So how are we going to make sure that we're going to be there for the club? So we're thinking of all those things and working on all that.
Yeah, great. Before I get Ajay for a very special segment from his end, both of you have mentioned that how social media has played a crucial role, like especially Twitter. I mean, I've met both of you or know both of you through Twitter. I mean, all of you, in fact, even Ajay and me know each other through there. And I also remember Jenny mentioning that they've got together with other fans on Twitter, and that's how we all came together. So, how do you think how big an impact has Twitter as a platform uh, created or made for Indian football? Jenny, first you, in brief, if you can say, and then Varsha.
It's both made and broken some friendships on Twitter. We've all made friendships and broken friendships on Twitter, but it's good. It's in a way it's very good because it keeps the conversation going. Even if there are fan groups fighting against each other, bashing each other on Twitter, at the end of the day, the conversation about Indian football is happening. So that is one good thing about Twitter. So I hope that continues and we don't lose the momentum and keep it going this way.
Yeah, Varsha.
I think
But also,
Twitter's helped at least us, not just us, Bengaluru FC and even West Block get a lot of fans because it's one of the biggest platforms where we create awareness because, our stories and everything, they get retweeted, and we recently got West Block verified as well, right? So that helps with the supporting the club, bringing out these stories about fan engagement and stuff. And definitely it's helped Indian football because uh, I definitely feel the connect is better in Twitter. Everybody knows the content is good. There are people who are serious about football, and as Jenny mentioned, the discussion keeps going whether it's controversial or not. There's something happening, so that way at least somebody's looking at it, somebody's knowing what's happening, right? So it's creating awareness for sure, and Twitter has definitely helped us get a lot of fans, get volunteers for banners, get fans to the stadium. Definitely.
but
And
to add to that,
and
we should know
yeah,
where to draw the line when it comes to banter and everything, right? So sometimes things, we cross boundaries. So that is something, if it could be avoided if people know their limits and uh, stick to that, then the conversations would be even more better.
I wish everybody did think that way. I'm sure it would have been a better place, but the place has caused a lot of havoc in every all of our lives. So there are many who I know have been personally affected and have left the space. So it's like, yeah, I mean, but yeah, like we all mentioned, the buzz that keeps going, it's good. We also know another. I mean, I can't not say quite not very evidently or subtly, but we know how social media or Twitter has either helped a certain club win titles on this. So yeah, uh, I'm sure there are a lot of comments gonna come up, but let's see. So moving on with some more fun stuff. Ajay has a very special rapid fire segment coming from him. So he's been very quiet all this while he was warming up, listening to all of us. Now over to you, Ajay.
Yeah, this is a good space because now since Karan Johar has vacated the space, because of all the recent happenings, I think coffee with Ajay could be a good concept to go. But jokes aside, I've got some questions on my anti-national phone that I want to ask you all. Okay, this is going to be very short, so you can answer with a very brief answer. The questions are same for both of you. So we'll start with Varsha first. So the one player that you want to sign from Chennai FC for next season, who would that be?
Thapa?
Anirudh Thapa. Okay, Jenny, the same question to you. The one player that you want to sign from BFC for next season?
Rafael Augusto.
Nice, nice. Okay, Varsha, the one foreign player who's made the most impact in BFC.
Hands down.
Sorry. Okay, we couldn't hear you.
I said Miku. Miku.
Miku. Okay.
Hands down. Yeah.
And Jenny, the one foreign player who's made the most impact on Chennai.
Mendoza.
Nice, great. Okay, who's
It's
your
his birthday as well today.
yeah. Okay, so who's your all-time favorite coach and why, Varsha?
This is getting a bit difficult.
It's a rapid fire. It's not supposed to be easy.
All-time favorite coach in Bengaluru FC, is that the question?
Yeah.
I would say Albert Roca.
Okay, and why?
Because I joined, so I became a fan of BFC only when in Ashley Westwood's third season. Although I love him, I think I connected more with Roca and his philosophy, and he's just brilliant. Like, I'd have Roca back any day.
Nice. And same question to you, Jenny. Your all-time favorite coach in Chennai and why?
John Gregory. I mean, nobody else even comes close. It's John Gregory, because I've not seen anybody who loves this club as much as he does. And even last season, he sacrificed his job just for the sake of the club. Nobody forced him to. In fact, the management was trying to convince him as much as possible to stay, despite despite the results. But he left just because he wanted the club to be in a better place, and he sacrificed it. Had it been someone else, they would have just kept the job and take the salary. But he was just the opposite of that, because he loves this club so much. He still does. And even after he left, after we signed the next coach, his first message to fans on Twitter was to continue supporting the club and to back the new manager. Who would say that? How many coaches would say that? So he is the best.
If we had a coffee hamper to give away, this answer would win it for sure. But unfortunately, we have budgetary constraints, so there's no coffee hamper now. But let's see if some investors are watching, then fair enough. Okay, moving on. So you guys spoke about tifos and banners. So what was the tifo that impacted you the most, and what was the message that it sent out? Start with Varsha.
Positively, I think the best tifo, it's not just with West Block, it's with whole of Indian football. The road is long. That's the best tifo ever. I think that's something that resonates with everybody who supports Indian football, and we're proud that few of our West Block folks were involved in that. So that's just the best banner, I would say, till date, for sure.
And Jenny, same question to you.
Okay, so I personally like the banner that you put up in the final. Everything you built will fall. One thing we did, that did affect. It rattled a lot of people. Even till date, some people complain about how that banner was wrong. But no, it did have the effect. We put it for the reason, and it did resonate with the other side. And this year, there was another banner that we put out, which said "Rise as One." Because we were having a very bad season initially, but then we did rise as one. So these two.
Okay, so Varsha, you are a Man United fan. So going ahead, who would be your dream signing for BFC? A current Man United player in the future.
Current Man United player in the future, like
for BFC.
It's like aiming for the stars or something. But I always like someone like Martial as a creative midfielder. Someone who's creative at midfield, and that's something that's. Eugeneson is there though. Like that's what I always think. I really like watching a creative midfielder. We had Rubio, so I would think of Martial.
I think Martial and Chhetri would be a good combination. Because Chhetri is going to continue playing until he's 45. He's that fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jenny, same question to you. You're a Barcelona fan, so apart from Leo Messi, who else would you want to see in Chennai FC?
Frankie De Jong.
That's great. That's great. Mm-hmm. And why do you think De Jong has all the qualities? What are the qualities that you see in him in terms of as a technical footballer?
He's quite a creative midfielder, and that is something that is very important. And we have Thapa now, but we don't know for how long he will be with us, and we need the continuity to be going, and it will be a very good addition if
Yeah.
it ever happens.
Yeah, just to if you just rewind a bit, Varsha is already interested in Anirudh Thapa signing for BFC, so you never know. Okay, last question. Last question from my end. We have about 10 minutes to go, so I'll wrap this section up with this question. So, yeah, Varsha, what do you want to say about your two South rivals? Who's the biggest rival, Chennai FC or Kerala Blasters?
They're both equal in different ways.
Fine, pick
We
one.
have equal rivalry with. Pick one.
Yeah.
I think Chennai.
Okay, so why not
For sure.
KBFC?
I think. Okay, I don't. This is going to sound controversial, so I probably do not want to say why. No, I'd rather not say. But
Fair
it's
enough.
Chennai.
Same question to you, Jenny. Who's the biggest rival, BFC or KBFC?
BFC.
And why not KBFC?
Because they are big in numbers, right? But sometimes some banter, rivalry, the banter and rivalry we have with BFC is more sharp than what we have with KBFC. I would put it that way. With KBFC, more often the fans know the only thing that happens more than banter is just mudslinging on both sides, and it just stops there, right? And sometimes it gets very, very personal. Of course, it happens with BFC and their fans, but still, the rivalry is more sharp.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as.
Yeah, so I'm done, Sichu.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Yeah, rivalry is very sharp. I like that. Also, the fact that KBFC is an extra unnecessary letter. I mean, remove K, what remains is BFC. So, I didn't say that. I'm gonna cover my face from here on. I'll probably deactivate it from Twitter as well. But the final thing to conclude, Jenny.
I've lost you.
Siju, we have lost you.
Yep.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I audible? Okay. Yeah. So to conclude and to continue with how we're having fun with each other and with the whole good fun banter. Jenny, your message to the West Block crews. It can be anything. Whatever you want to tell them. Upcoming season.
I don't know. Maybe I just don't have a message for them.
Wow, that hurt. Or is that a good thing?
Maybe
I don't
nothing,
know.
like not even watch out for us. Oh yeah, nothing like how can that be? I mean, your laugh says a lot of things, but it can be anything.
I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Okay, best left in the unsaid.
Yeah, like I said, her laughter says it all, I guess. So that's the message, Varsha. I mean, whatever you want to take, you can interpret from her laugh. But Varsha, what is your message to the Super Machans?
Yeah, they should watch out for us because although this is how we entered AFC this year, we're not gonna let it go. We're gonna give our best. Watch out for the competition. But that being said, I also want to give a message to the fans through whatever Jenny has said. They've been doing a great job for the community, the way they've been supporting the club. So keep that going. As even though we're rivals, I think that's really important for Indian football. We should support our team no matter what. So keep that going for sure.
Definitely, that will definitely continue. And I think that's also a good thing, about all these fan clubs from different clubs. When it comes to the national team, we're all one. We're all in it together. So that's a very beautiful thing that has been happening ever since, there have been more clubs in Indian football in the recent years.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very well put out there. I think that's a good note to end on. And I must say that yes, this is how fans are when they're on the show. They might be arch rivals when they're out there, but they know how not to be always bashing each other or also talk something else. So I think what connects us all is the sport, right, and the sport that we have fallen in love with, and then the love for our club where we come from. So thank you so much, Varsha. Thank you so much, Jenny, for joining us on this HOIF Unfiltered. In fact, you're the first guests. Though we started with Ajay and Vinay, they were like the
We were,
in-house guests.
yeah, we were the
were
guinea
trying out
pigs
on our
basically.
itself.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So you guys have kicked off our HOIF Unfiltered series. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it, and looking forward to having you guys for more sessions on our podcast. Maybe next time we'll have one from the other team, and then we can have a good banter show there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you so much,
That
guys.
would be a lot of fun. Thank you for inviting us. It was fun. In fact, this is the first time I'm meeting her. We have not met before. We have not spoken before. I think I don't have too many friends at WBB. I think it's just 2 or 3, and that's it. So I don't. I know a lot of them only on Twitter, and I've not met many. So yeah, but
I
yeah.
actually
Anyway,
met your founder in Dubai for the Asia Cup. That was brilliant because we left all our rivalries and we supported the national team. So he told me a lot about how the club started. So it was good to hear from him how similar the journey was as well. So it's great knowing you. Yeah, I'm happy this
That's
happened so that I
I'm
know
I'm so happy,
someone.
Siju. We have actually brought 2 humans of Indian football together through this platform,
Yes,
which
absolutely.
uh,
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, and you said it. So yeah, I mean, for more such stuff, always subscribe to HOIF. We just don't share stories, but we also bring people together. That's the another tagline they're gonna keep. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into the episode. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll have many such fun episodes coming up, and talking to among different kinds and different various people from humans of Indian football. We'll get them on the show and talk about everything Indian football. So thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I thank Varsha and Jenny, and that's it from us. So see you guys. Thank you.
Thank